is the Big O Show. This 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 is
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The game is final. Tua and the boys are in the locker room. Let's go over what happened in this game in our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The post-game show is brought to you by Welt & Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, Toyota of Hollywood, RM Contractors. The stats are final. The insiders are ready. The platform is mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley. Now, let's find out what the Big O thinks about this matchup as we start our Dolphins post-game show. Here's Big O.
Oh, baby. Yes, sir. Welcome back. It is a depressing post-game show on a day where the offense played to win, the defense played to lose. And that's basically what happened today. Defense just did not show up. A lot of the things that have burned the Dolphins so far in this first half of the season continued. One of them was Jordan Poyer, who really has not been a good pickup this season. And he committed just an absolutely incredibly stupid-ass penalty at the end that made a couple of negative plays in this game. Saron Neal, by the way, 2 former Bills were like 2 pains in the asses. It was like they were the 12th and 13th men on the football team, to be quite honest. Jordan Poyer has been a waste the entire season, and today he was contributing to the Bills' win. And Saron Neal, that dude was celebrating a tackle after the player made the first down. He lost Mac Hollins in the end zone for the touchdown, and then the penalty with Saron Neal. 2 former Bills contributing to the Bills' win. So, it's just, and I get the injuries and I get it all and all that. And listen, man, I didn't expect a win, but I'll say this, McDaniel's best coach game. Does it mean anything to me? It doesn't really mean jack shit. Because, by the way, they followed exactly what we told you, the hopium in the pregame that I told you. The one way they can win this game is if you run the ball, you throw to Jonnu Smith also, you use more Jalen Wright. They didn't use as much Jalen Wright as I would like. They brought him in cold. The first carry was on that 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 or whatever, and the kid got stuffed. But, yeah, I will say McDaniel had the best, overall, the best game that he's called. I will say. Doesn't mean much to me because you're 2-6, bro. Your season's over. Your season was over already, but some of you kind of I don't know, you needed some kind of proof or something like that. But it was over already as it is. And the defense was absolute dog shit. I commend Tua, played a pretty damn good game overall. The crazy son of a bitch dove head first for a first down. Just really amazing. He is as fearless as it gets. Went 25 of 28, 231 and 2 touchdowns. Devon Achane, 12 rushes, 63 yards and a touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 10 for 56. Jalen Wright ended up getting 6 carries on the day for 18 yards. Tyreek Hill, 4 for 80. Devon Achane also had 8 receptions, 58 yards and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 5 for 46. By the way, what is Tanner Conner still doing on the team? Today, Julian Hill was out with an injury, and that only opened up the door for Tanner Conner to be the complete, the CFU. Really is amazing how those 2 tight ends, I don't know how they steal. I don't know how they steal money off of there. I mean, it is really, really, really bad, bro. Really, really bad overall to see that those 2 guys take up roster spots and contribute nothing week in and week out. And, it's constant just negatives, It's disturbing. People try to talk to you when you're on the air, and it's like, I can't do both, dude. I can't do both, But I appreciate them coming by. We had a lot of Dolphin fans in here. This place was loaded. They were singing Dolphin songs, all of that stuff. It was a lot of fun. Again, sorry that everybody walked away with a defeat, but man, this is what can I tell you? What can I tell you? It's a game that hurts every which way possible. Remember, you can make a donation on the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, sending in your questions, comments, insults, all that good stuff. We'll hear the Fire McDaniel, Fire Greer, Fire Weaver, Fire players also. I mean, I would cut people after games like this, dude. If I was coach, I'd be sending messages all the time, man. All the damn time. Yeah, Tua did all he could do. Yep, I agree. Tua did everything he could do, but it's not about one person. It's great for some of you out there that love to lay the blame all on one person, and you can't credit all one person. And Tua played a very good game overall, but it's more than that. Your defense has to show up, and this was not a defense that was showing up whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to Venmo first of all. Adam Pinkser. 2 weeks in a row, the defense crapped the bed. I credit McD for running the ball more, but the penalties and mental errors, it's always something with this team. You know what it is? And I'm glad you bring that up, because last week McD went out of his way to talk about how his team didn't commit a lot of penalties. And then this week,
they go back to 8 penalties for 57 yards. And they go back to committing the same mistakes over and over and in key moments over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I said it either on the post game or during the week, I said, McD going out of his way talking about the penalties, like, yo, bro, shut the hell up. When you do it for, several weeks, then talk about it. But because you did it once, that's a fluke. And there we go. And in key moments, you made mistakes and you kept their drives alive and you helped them. And Adam, that's exactly what this team is, dude. And they're just a what's it called? An undisciplined team. It's despicable, dude. Sean Harris, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Bills scored on every single drive in the second half. Pathetic. Like I said last week, if this team has an opportunity to fold, they will fold. Yeah. And they folded like a cheap-ass tent. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. At Anthony Lizzie, thank you for the love on Venmo. Heartbroken. Tua played great. Mostert fumble cost us. Can't do those things against Bills and expect to win. Exactly. And you can't commit the penalties that Poyer committed. Cam, you can't. You cannot commit those kind of penalties. Saran Neal, you cannot commit those kind of penalties. Steve Chapman, thank you for the love on Venmo. No moral victories, but I was happy with the way they played. It's not easy to win in Buffalo, and it took 61-yard kick. O-line and Tua look great, something to build on. Well, the O-line's played well 4 weeks in a row, dude. 4 weeks in a row, the O-line's played well, and they've run the ball. Now, if you can't play defense, this ain't going to happen, dog. This ain't going to happen. Sorry. So their defense was dog shit, dude. The Bills, let's see, 231 yards passing, 325 yards total overall. And like you said, in the second half, they scored at will. At will. Was it every drive? You know what? I didn't notice that. You said was it every drive? Oh, and the field goal. That's right. That's right. I'm thinking touchdowns. Yeah. He is right, dude. That is sad. That's just sad, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Field goal, touchdown, field goal. Yeah. 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 It's nuts, dude. Oh, sad. It is. But what are you going to do, right? This is who this team is. Nothing has changed. It's what they've been for different coaches, different general managers, different eras. This has been going on for decades. It's been a soft team. It was a soft team with Marino. It's a soft team with Fiedler. It was a soft team all throughout. It's been a soft organization all throughout. Nothing has changed, dude. Nothing. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo. It's a shame we can't quit taking stupid penalties. Best called game of the year, but a loss is a loss. I still don't trust his coaching staff. Well, I mean, it's not like you're halfway through the season and you're a better defense. You're not. You're not. I know you have injuries too. That's why sorry-ass Saran Neal has to play. That's why he's a special teamer and never really used on defense, because he can't play. I mean, it's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic. Let's see. Firehead coach. Yep, I see that. My dad loves your show. I was at the pub, Big O. Thank you, Maisie Max. Thank you, Maisie Max. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to the super chats here, Sean. Start rolling. And remember, you can make a donation PayPal too anywhere around the world. You can use the PayPal and send in your comment, your question. All kinds of good stuff there. True Fin fan, same old Dolphins, 2-6. Yep. Question is now, do you start trading? Do you fire anybody? Do you make any changes? But it's too late now to fire anybody. It's too late. You need to fire McDaniel a couple weeks ago and go after Vrabel and bring his ass in. Now you're not saving the season anymore, no matter who comes in. Thank you, True Fin fan. At least it's official now. Season is over. Amen to that. Amen to that. Next up, let's get them rolling. It was over for me anyway after the Colts. Yeah, I agree. That was the game that pretty much was the nail on the coffin. The rest is BS after that. I agree with that. Yes, no doubt. Man of 1,005 holds. It was a close game. It's mediocrity talk. Yeah, well, but that's kind of what we've been forever, dude. Stuck in the middle again. Steeler wheels, baby. Next up. Ice the kicker. No, coach, whatever. Yeah, that kick was going to happen 71 yards, dude. We had a guy that was screaming his lungs off. Take more time to score. You can't do that in football. You got to score when you have the opportunity to score. And then the other side of the ball has to do their job, dude. That's how I lived my life watching Marino. He did his job, and then the other side of the ball didn't do their job. That's how I lived my life as a Dolphins fan. That's how it goes. The Woodstock years, the defense was a little better because we had some killer bees. They did their job sometimes. And the offense didn't do so good sometimes. And then we had the 70s when I was a child. And guess what? Everybody did their job there. Offense, defense, special teams, fans, flipper, everybody. It was all working. Danny Thomas, it was all working. What can I tell you? Let's roll. Next up. And by the way, UK fans, I got to try something else. But I love you guys. Got to broadcast with you guys one day. Eric Weiner. Bass can't make PAT and nails a 61-yarder. Defense didn't show up, and Finn still can't catch a break. But you know what, Eric? It's not about catching a break, man. I don't want to catch a break. I want the Dolphins to be a great team, period. Not worried about breaks. You want a break during a season when you're great, that the ball rolls your way in a game. Okay, great. But a shitty team to get a break? Yeah, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And unfortunately, our Finns are a shitty team. Next up. Richard Ray. Where do we go from here? Next up. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate you, bro. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a couple weeks now. Okay. They're not going to fire anybody. But if I would have done something, I would have fired the coach a couple of weeks ago and made a change. At this point, I still think it's the whole, well, we're going to tweak it in the offseason and all that. But, I mean, Tua played well, and you lost. Manny J. Snow, thank you for the love in the super chat. Is a Dolphins-type loss. The young fans just don't know about it, and Poyer appears to still play for the Bills. A half-ass Poyer and Saron Neal. Okay, let me tell you, you're in the NFL and you're celebrating a tackle from a guy that made the first down. What is that? Thank you, bro. Hypersonic. 1-8 against the Bills. Clean house garbage. Well, I mean, Listen, man, all of you that want to fire this guy, fire that guy, fire everybody, nobody can argue with you guys. The results aren't there, and people are going to pay the price. I get it. I get it. This coach, not the guy, bro. Not the guy. Steve M., thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. McDaniel should have called the timeout to try and ice the kicker. Whatever, bro. I mean, think about that, Steve M. I love it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. But that's where we're at as a loser fan base. Dude, the defense folded like a cheap tent the entire game. They deserve to make that kick. They deserve to win the game. They did everything to win, and we did everything on defense to lose that game. And I'm just not going to cheapen it by that and pray for a break. Guy 2, Mum Premier. Sounds very, very elitist there. I want you, Gaito. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Appreciate you and the support. Next up. Let's see. We are on time here. I can catch up. JC, Canadian Big O fan. Tua drives down the field for a TD, but this defense was very weak. No, this defense was despicable, JC. Absolutely despicable. Toxic fart. McDaniel finally calls a good game. I give him credit for that. There was a blatant holding on a blitz on Poyer's penalty, not called. Yeah, that happens in every game a whole bunch of other times. So it is what it is. Our guys got to stop making the stupid mistakes. But again, clearly nobody. Oh, is that Gesicki scoring a touchdown? That's Mike Gesicki. 5 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he's no good here. This McDaniel pisses me the hell off, bro. Okay? I'm not telling you Gesicki's God. I'm not telling you he's the greatest tight end since sliced bread or any of that shit, dude. But you suck as a coach. Because if Flo, who sucks as a coach, who has no idea on offense, but yet he comes up with a couple clowns that use Gesicki and he catches 70 balls with him, and you can't use him after the front office pays for him, you're an idiot. And here's Cincinnati. He goes to a real team, with a real quarterback and real offense. And, oh, my God, he's having a good season now all of a sudden. It's not like a one-game fluke. No, he's had several good games for them. 5 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, Mike Gesicki. Mike McDaniel, bro, you are horrible. And I know you coached a good game today. So what? The sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while. Daryl Wallace, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Very kind of you. We appreciate the support. Sean and I really need it. I wish the Finns would have tried going for 2. The offense was in rhythm, and the defense drove. Man, I'm all right with the 1. I'm all right. The defense has to do their job, dude. They have to do their job, and they refuse to do their job. And Jordan Poyer needs his head. No, Jordan Poyer doesn't need his head examined because he's got Rachel Bush. So his head's working fine. Now, what he needs is not to be on a Dolphin uniform, because I would be cutting his ass in the morning. He's brought nothing to the table, bro. I'd cut his ass on the spot and admit I screwed up. I made a mistake. I signed the wrong dude, because that's what you did. Vinny Lenya, thank you for the love on the super chat. Did you see the defense improving? Not really. A couple guys make plays here or there, but if you're going to improve, bro, get it done. You know what's improving? Watching the offensive line block every week and run the ball and protect the shitty quarterbacks and protect Tua the last month. That's improvement. I haven't seen that kind of improvement with the defense. They have certain stats that they do well on. pressuring on third downs and stuff like that. They do some of that. What? You were going to tell me something? Oh, no, of course not. No, I don't. Oh, if you mean long term, I don't see it right now. No. Look what you've done halfway through the season. Look what you did right now in this game, bro. It's what they brought you for. You had to get, if you get one stop, you win the game before the field goal. If you get one stop, you win the game. You couldn't get one stop. Yeah, no, I can't do that. You got to find a way as a coach to get it done. And maybe Weaver turns into a good coach. It's his first year as a DC. He's had a very short window at this, so it's hard to judge him. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I don't see enough for me to be happy to moving forward with this head coach. So that's my problem right now. I'm not going to, parse it right now because I don't want the special teams coach anyways. So, but I don't want to even throw Weaver in there because I haven't seen Weaver enough. I've seen enough of Crossman and McDaniel. I'm done with those guys. I'm more than done with those guys. Am I happy with what's going on? No, but I'm not gonna judge Weaver. It's too short of a sample size. And it's his first year. He can't have all his players yet and all that. So I don't want to be fair, but I'm not satisfied. If you want me to be satisfied, I'm not. Howie Parladay. Thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. 50 years of mediocre gameplay. When do we return to any kind of dominance? So hard to be a Fins fan. I don't know, my brother. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel right now because you don't have the right coach. So that means the talent you have will go to waste, contracts will expire, and you'll have to break it up anyway. You've already ruined 2 years of it. And you only have one more year of this window. How many times have I talked to you guys on this show? How many times did I say when they were all talking about cap crisis, I said no, and there was no problem. They signed everybody the last 2 years. And I told you one more year of this next year, and then it's over. After that, it's really cap crisis. So you have one more year. That's why I'm saying it's one more year. What do you do? You're not going to trade everybody away and break it all up and all that. There's all the salaries are paid. It'll create a cap crisis that'll force you to cut half the team. So you're not going to do that. But you got one more year and the window closes. And then you've got to reset. Arizona, AZ, Chuck Woolery is back with another episode of Who Would You Rather Be? Who would you rather be? A Dolph fan or a Pete Stoyanovich botched circumcision? I'm going to go with a Dolph fan because just the thought of the botched circumcision, yeah, it's not something I really want to go through or experience. Kind of like a hot dog in a Dairy Queen on the Panhandle. That's something I want to experience. No, we're going to that Italian joint. Toxic Fart again is in. He is gassing it up again. Thank you, sir. And he puts, I miss Gesicki. You should. Antoine goes, Poyer, you single-handedly gave them the Bills game, yeah? Gave the Bills the game, yeah. I agree. Holy shit, the greater fear is back. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Oh, at least us older guys will always have the Louis Oliver interception. 99 yards. No, it was over 100, wasn't it? I think the Louis Oliver one was in the end zone. Yeah, I think it was like 103 or something, 104 yards, actually. Look it up. I'm pretty sure it was in the end zone, yes. At least us older guys will always have the Louis Oliver interception TD game. LOL. McD coached better than usual, which we all have to admit. I know it sounds twisted, but Dolphins are no better today than they were at any point during his tenure. Same old Dolphins. Amen to that. Amen. 103. Did I not say 103, 104? I got to tell you, I have so much useless information in my head that it's useless. That's what it's for, right? D Wolverines 305. This coach has been exposed. He can't use Odell, couldn't utilize Gesicki, and Jonnu at the beginning of the season either, by the way. Plays way too much buddy ball with the past 49er players, and he has weapons. D Wolverine, I'd love to discuss with you, have well, I disagree here, you're wrong here, this, that. When you're right, my brother. And that's who you are. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Remember, you can also make a donation. We always tell you Cash App and Venmo and PayPal because the show gets 100% of the donation. We appreciate it on Super Chat, but they take away 30%. That damn YouTube. That's why. David Furones and Chris Perkins will be joining us shortly, I would imagine. Pedro Farias, thank you for the love on the Super Chat. He says Mike McDaniel called a good offense, but McDaniel is a head coach that has to take responsibility for the whole team. Penalties and undisciplined team. We stuck in this for more than this season, probably. I'm telling you, the prediction is, well, we're going to look at it. We're going to tweak some things because we're really close and we don't really want to break everything up. And we like the continuity of this team. And we're just going to make a couple of tweaks here or there. And we think we'll have everything that we need for next season. And I just can't wait to hang out at John Phillips' place next Saturday with all of you all out there having some fun. That's what I'm looking forward to. Hanging out with John at his place, and then on Sunday, it's Sharky's, right? And then this is the pot? The what's it called? You have the thing up yet? I can't see the billboard here. I don't know if you have it up, but it's called something pot. Smudge Pot. That's John Phillips' place on Saturday. We're here at the River Pub. See the Smudge Pot. Shows you where my mind is when I only remember pot. Anyway, Smudge Pot will be there on Saturday in Los Angeles. It's in the Redlands in California. And then we'll be at Sharky's on Sunday. So we'll have Dolphin takeovers. And that's the best part about it, is hanging out with Dolphins. The game disappoints the hell out of us. You know what I'm saying? So what am I going to do? Chet Miles says, what were you thinking on Tua's run? He can't stop. I know. I tweeted out, the man is fearless. Anybody that questions Tua's toughness, you're an idiot. That guy is fearless, bro. He does not care. He does not think about the mistake he made if he threw a mistake. He does not care about an injury. It's not going to make him afraid to throw in traffic. It's not going to make him afraid to run. It's not going to make him afraid to get the first down if he has to die for the damn first down. The guy will sell out no matter what. And let me tell you something. If you're not rooting for Tua Tagovailoa, I get the fragile nature of his body. Understand all of that. Okay? But if you're not rooting for him, you're a bad person, dude. You're not a real Dolphins fan. You're not. And by the way, for all those people that he played winning football today. It's not his fault that they didn't win. But of course, he'll get blamed for it like everything else when it's not his fault. I don't know what more you want from him today. So it drives me kind of crazy. So yeah, I was thinking that he's fearless. I'm also thinking that son of a bitch will sell out to do anything to win the game for you, Dolphin. Maybe you should sell out for him no matter what. Okay? Yeah, we don't want him to be a knucklehead, but it's in him, unfortunately. He's going to sell out his body. We don't want him to, but he does that stuff. But damn, dude, come on. I mean, wow. He's an impressive individual. I wish he would take care of himself a little bit more, but man, I got to respect the hell out of the fact that he will sell out. Never think that guy is afraid of anything. That's what I was thinking, Chet. And thank you, Chet, for the super chat. Toxic Fart is back again, gassing the place up. Regarding McDee's play calling today, even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Exactly. Yeah, you got to do it for weeks on end for us to start believing that you're the guy. Yeah. And Toxic Fart again follows up with a Brian Cox speaks for me regarding the Bills. That's middle fingers for you youngins out there that have not picked up on it. When he says Brian Cox speaks for me for the Bills, he's talking, double birds, by the way. Okay? Double birds. Because Brian was not going to be cheated out of that moment. He wasn't going to give you a bird. He was going to give you flying birds. And that's what he did. Tua will always be blamed because he's a franchise QB. Amen. You are correct, sir. Big O Tua played a Marino-esque game today by putting them in position to win, only for the defense to let them down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was very Marino-ish. What if you don't like Tua? How can you call us fake fans? I'm saying if you're not rooting for him, yeah, I think you're a fake fan. Yeah. I don't know. How do you root against a Dolphin? Yeah. I'm not sure. How do you root against the Dolphin? That doesn't make any sense. I never believed in Ryan Tannehill, but I wasn't rooting against him. I didn't dislike the kid. I just never believed in him. And I said it all the time. What was my line? I want him to marry my daughter, but I don't want him to lead my football team. Remember that? She's laughing. Lisa's laughing. Yeah. Great kid. Don't think he's ever going to be a franchise quarterback. So, not sure. So, if you're rooting against Tua, yeah, dude, you're not a fan. No, if you're rooting against Tua, hey, you want me to be honest? I think you're a piece of shit. Is that clear enough for you? If you're rooting against Tua, I think you're a piece of shit. You don't believe he can stay healthy? Okay. That's understandable. You don't believe he's a franchise quarterback? Okay. But if you're rooting against him and you're a Dolphin, you're a piece of shit, dude. Or dudette. Either way, however you want to have it. That's my point. You can't root against a guy like that. It's impossible to root against people like that. Good human beings that they only know one thing. They want to lay it all out there. And he'll sacrifice anything to lay it all out there. It's crazy. But shit, it's not because he's trying to lose a game. He's trying to win a game. That's everything he does is because he's trying to win a game. I don't know how you root against that. So my point is, if you're a Dolphin fan, you should be rooting for this kid at least. You can have your doubts, but to root against him, you're a bad person, bro. Or a piece of shit, however you want to look at it. But yeah, you're a bad person. Let's see what else. Living in the 80s, Rosendo, I was able to have access to the book. I have to confirm it. There we go. Some going on there. Coming from a guy who actively roots against Dolphins head coaches in order to cover for his buddy. I'm not rooting. Am I rooting against him? Where am I rooting against? I've never rooted against anything Dolphins. You never see me. Like I said, he's not a head coach. That's all. You can think that someone's not a good quarterback or a good offensive lineman or a good head coach or something like that, but rooting against them? No. I think you guys aren't understanding English. Some of you aren't very smart, but that's understandable. I am talking with a football fan base. There's a level of Neanderthals in a football fan base. There's a certain section of football fans that aren't very bright, so they don't really pick up on things. That's one of the things I've noticed out of all sports. Football is the one that probably has the most knuckleheads. So I can understand some of you may not understand English and you struggle with the language. Let's see. We go to Asia. Asia Headstrom. Do you think Greer is fired for the mishandling of the edge rushers alone? Seems like more bad luck from Greer's fault, though. I don't think anybody survives in the end. If McDaniel is the coach, I don't think the front office gets to hire their third head coach. So you will get your wish with McDaniel and Greer probably, and Allen and McKenzie and scouts and assistant coaches. A lot of people are going to get fired. A lot of people are going to get fired. And mostly because of Mike McDaniel, not really anything else. The edge rushing stuff, not really. The Jalen Phillips was mishandled by the coaching staff and the trainers. They shouldn't have put him back out there. The kid's injury prone. He's coming back from a torn Achilles. He injures his knee. You don't put a brace on and put him back out there. No. You put him back on the sidelines. You take the week off. You go check his knee to see if he can come back this year. You kind of take care of him. So that was mishandled. And if anybody really expected big numbers from Kamara and Chop, you're not really watching the NFL because most young pass rushers, most of the time, it takes them some time to come around. And this is a later first-round guy and a fifth-round guy. So, no, I wouldn't. The head coach thing is what's going to burn them more than anything else. Because this team should have 3 more victories on the win column with a better head coach. Arguing this one could be a win too, but okay, I'm not going to totally blame him for that, but the other 3 I am. So the head coach, I think, is the reason why front office, assistant coaches, scouts will be fired. A lot of people are going to get fired because of Mike McDaniel. And the front office will pay the price because they hired Flo and McDaniel, and neither one worked out. So that's why. Okay. What else do we have going on? Well, I feel like I'm in elementary, and they pass it over, and then there's a note inside, and let's see. Oh, okay. By the way, do want to mention that we got to give some love to the Dirty Birds. Not the Falcons, but the restaurant outside, because they are some ass kickers. So if you come out here to the River Pub, you can eat next door to the Dirty Birds. And the Dirty Bird is like amazing food. I had some chicken and waffles yesterday that were off the chain. Would you have a pizza roll? You had it a second time. You had 2 orders of pizza roll and 1 yesterday, and the loaded fries. So he's had the pizza roll 3 times in a 24-hour span. He's had the pizza roll 3 times. I had some chicken and waffles yesterday, and I don't know what that sauce is. It's some kind of syrup sauce that I don't know, but that shit was off the chain, bro. Off the chain. So the Dirty Bird, by the way, next door here to the River Pub is absolutely awesome. And they've done an excellent job while we've been here. D Wolverine, 305. People saying tank for Cam, and he has not played against any tough opponents this year and has not proven anything. LOL funny. Oh, yeah, no, that's, again, we go back to the Neanderthal thing in football. There's a level of fans in football that aren't very bright. And you've got this whole thing with the UM. Now we have the UM Dolphin crossover now. Okay? I had people lose their shit when I was at the Senior Bowl, at the Combine, and I told people that Ken Dorsey can't play in the NFL. UM fans lost their shit. They lost it. Like, no, dude, he's not a NFL, quarterback. And they lost it. And that's kind of how it is. So you got to watch out with that. That's the thing. So you're going to have on the board these Dolphin homers, and they want to Cam Ward. I would never draft Cam Ward in the top 5. And NFL teams aren't going to take him in the top 5 throwing across his body. And you can't, obviously, that's habitual. You understand? Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Habitual means something that you do over and over again, by the way. I'm just that Neanderthal group there that may not know what I'm talking about. Okay. The word habitual means like it happens all the time. Those stupid throws happen all the time. And he has plays where he has 5, 7, 8, maybe even half an hour sometimes to throw the ball. Okay. That's not going to happen in the NFL. I think a lot of you get caught up prisoners of the moment thing, and you're looking at Cam. He's a great college quarterback. So is Ken Dorsey. Oh, and by the way, Ken Dorsey had no stupid throws ever, pretty much. Rarely throws interceptions. Rarely makes stupid throws, and one more than Cam, by the way. Just want to throw it out there. And he can't play in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying Cam can't because he has all the talent. He has the talent Ken Dorsey never had to play in the NFL. But he will make a lot of mistakes in the NFL. He will be a disaster in the NFL if he's going to play like this. And I just don't think he turns it off, where all of a sudden he plays tight and he doesn't make mistakes and he's not willing to throw across his body. Oh, and by the way, his game doesn't have the 3 and 5 step drop to it, where he's constantly drop, step, throw. And you got to throw right on that break or right before the break. He does not do that. He does that very rare. He throws the break open. It's already, the guy's cutting in ahead and he can throw it there because he's got an arm. So that whole Cam love affair by some of our Dolphins, if I'm tanking for Shador. That's a passer. Yes, sir.
No, school leader on there. He said he can learn under a veteran quarterback. The problem is, if you draft him that high, you're not drafting him to sit. And
why not?
And
why not now?
I've not seen a quarterback drafted in the first round that sat behind anybody recently.
What? You really? Jordan Love is not a first rounder that sat?
That's the only one. Another one.
Behind
another one. Bryce Young got put in.
Aaron Rodgers sat.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers
recently, though. Recently.
I'm not done.
Recently.
Matt Hasselbeck sat for a few years in Green Bay, and then they had to trade him to Seattle. My point is, one team seems to do it all the time. Maybe the Michael Penix thing we all laugh at. Maybe it's the best damn thing to do, bro. Maybe Kirk Cousins is playing his ass off. Nothing wrong with it. Michael Penix gets to learn. And, dude, if the owner is willing to let the kid learn, which Arthur Blank shits money. So if he's willing to let the kid sit for 3 years and say, Wait a minute. How come Green Bay's been doing it for a quarter century and we're sitting around like a bunch of idiots hurrying this whole process up? And meanwhile, every single one of these owners sits on billions of dollars of cash. So maybe you're better off having some patience and not rushing some of these kids. You might rush them right out of the goddamn league. For a quarter century, Green Bay sits their quarterbacks. Are you listening to me? Because nobody remembers Matt Hasselbeck. But of course, I got plenty of shit in my head. I remember it all. They sat him. He would come out in the preseason and light up the preseason. And he did it for a couple of years, but Brett Favre doesn't get injured. Brett Favre doesn't even sit down. Brett Favre doesn't miss anything. The only thing he might have missed is maybe not sending out penis pics. He could have missed that out. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, he doesn't miss anything else. He doesn't even miss out sticking it to Mississippi taxpayers. Now, on a serious note, really, we all laughed at Atlanta at the beginning of the year. Oh, that was stupid what they did. Maybe, just maybe, they said the same thing I'm saying right now. Hey, guys, how come Green Bay's been doing this forever? Look at the Jordan Love kid. He's playing all right, and he was green when he came out of the league because I said it. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I must be talking about Cam Ward. I don't know if my man is watching right now. Damn it. Mace, you always send it in under Mace Taggart. Damn it. It's like a New York name because he got on our show from. No, it's one of our listeners. But he got on our show in Sirius when I was on Sirius. Yeah, Ty from the Bronx. Is that what you said? Ty from the Bronx? Oh, I understood something else. Ty something. Ty from the Bronx. Ty from the Bronx. He wanted Love top 5. Props to him, by the way, because he wanted him early. And I said, he's a little raw. I'd take him in the second half of the first round. Okay? And guess where Green Bay took him? Second half of the first round, and they sat his ass down for 3 years. And he's developed nicely so far. Maybe he turns into something. Maybe he doesn't. We'll see, but they're giving him a chance at least. So I don't forget that, Ty. See, I even remember some of my listeners and supporters, their good calls. Okay? So Ty in the Bronx, you get love. You get the love because you nailed that one. So maybe it's not the worst thing. And what have I said about Cam Ward? I wouldn't take him early. I'd take him in the second half of the first round or early second because he's more of a project. Exactly like Jordan Love. Because the last thing you want to do to Cam Ward is put him out there in the NFL right now. He doesn't have the patience to play in the NFL. He'll make so many mistakes. He'll end up looking really stupid in the NFL. Let's go with Ozzie Fisher. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Tua put his team on his back. Unfortunately, Mostert let him down. Yep, that too. Poyer with a gift. This one hurt, Big O. McDaniel still looks like a fool with his 1K sunglasses, 1K sneakers, 250K watch, and so glow in his hair. Glanville 2.0. And I think he left tickets also for, let's see, it's not Elvis. What would be for him? Because Glanville was Elvis. So you get it. He's an older guy. He loved Elvis. He thinks he's still around. So who could be dead but is not dead? And McDaniel wants to leave tickets for him recently. DB Cooper? No. Huh? Tupac. West Coast. I like it. And he loves his rap. He loves his 90s rap. So very good call. Tupac's not dead. All we need now is McDaniel to leave tickets for Tupac. It's a good call on your part. I like that one. Cam Ward could be our next Yatil Green situation, says Chet Miles. Damn, Chet, that's hard, bro. That's harsh. Thank you for the love in the super chat, Chet. That is very nice of you. Leon Fresco, thank you, sir, for the super chat. This loss is on Greer. Defense decimated by bad drafts and personnel management. Punter also sucks. And Greer refused to fix problems. Well, you know, I'm a fan of the front office, but you'll get your wish soon enough, sir. Because it's not looking good right now, bro. It's not looking good. Scott Purvis, thank you for the love on Venmo. Support Fins Up. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you. Very nice. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. What's it called? Chris Perkins or David Furones should be joining us soon. Do want to tell you about R&M Contractors. This always happens because of R&M Contractors. Our road trips and being able to meet a lot of Dolph fans and connecting and being able to cover some of these great games on the road. Unfortunately, we're not winning. And thanks to R&M Contractors, we're going to be on the road again next week in Los Angeles for the Dolphins and the Rams, and looking forward to it. But call Ray or Mike. Man, these are the kind of people that support us. You should support them. Complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, waterproofing, terrace, balcony, flood test report, bathroom upgrade, floor restoration, maintenance, stucco repairs, drywall. They do level 5 finish. So please call R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. They can take care of you. 305-345-3649. Mace, there you are, baby. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you always, Big O. You got it, baby. I remember. I don't forget. That was a good call on your part. Good call on your part. And the best thing they did was maybe Jordan Love is a complete failure if you throw him out there raw like that, fresh out of Fresno. Fresno? I forgot. No, I think I made that mistake last time. It wasn't Fresno. Yeah, it wasn't Fresno. I made that mistake last time. I said Fresno, and it wasn't Fresno. It was somewhere else. And maybe he fails. In fact, there's a good chance he fails. But sitting for 3 years gave him time. Sitting in the same system, Utah State. There we go. I think it's a positive that if you're a football team and you can afford or prepare for yourself to do it, you know what I'm saying? Get that veteran to sit in, or if your veteran is getting old, you know, you're a great starter, draft that young guy a couple of years ahead. That's what they do in Green Bay. That's exactly what they do. They think the guy's getting old. They go and draft his replacement, and then they usually the last 2 quarterbacks they've pushed them out for the new guy, and they were right both times to push him out. It's pretty amazing. Andrew Moore, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Appreciate you. Can I get a B-Day shout out this sad Dolphin Sunday? Andrew, happy birthday to you, sir. I hope you have a perfect day like our 70s Dolphins and a cold one on us, my friend. And in fact, when we go to the restaurant now, we'll have a drink on you, Andrew. We'll say we'll have a toast for you, Andrew. Happy birthday, my brother. And I'm sorry that the Dolphins couldn't give you a victory that you well deserved, because everybody else deserves it. Just like this. We had a great group of fans here today, you know, in Western New York. A bunch of Dolphin fans got together at a bar in New York. That's crazy. It really is crazy. It's super impressive.
Crazy thing also is
Yes, sir.
I don't think it's the first time. They seem like a group that have been together like for lots of games.
Yes. It looks like some of them are coming in. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I'm with you. Steve M, thank you for the love in the super chat. No, a POS is a QB who F's up the season going headfirst into the Bills defense, then goes headfirst into the same defense a week after his return. Now we've got to waste a high draft pick we need for defense on a QB because of your boy's fearlessness. Yep. There's a lot of times you're wrong, Steve. This is not one of them. It's one of the few times you're right. And you're right. You're right. He can't be trusted. And it shows you that he's not going to take care of himself. You know, that's the reality. That's the sad reality that we face there. Isn't that crazy? Alberto Larios, thank you for the double contribution back to back. Thank you, sir. That is very nice. Very nice. The odd numbers are kind of a trip, too. Nobody ever does that. I've just done it. Everybody does even numbers, so that's a trip, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Alberto. Appreciate you, man. That is very, very kind of you. Okay. God damn it, Albert. 3 in a row. Holy shit. That is awesome. Appreciate you, man. Albert is going crazy, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're going to keep us on the road for a long time there, Albert. Appreciate you, man. There we go. That is very nice. Oh, man. Rest in peace, Tom Petty. Let's see. Send some texts to these guys. See what's the latest. Because I'm hungry, bro. I want to get to some food. Roy in St. Louis, or Roy STL, I would imagine. Props to Tua. He played his ass off. Just dug ourselves in a hole. Put Tua on the ice for the rest of the season. Sell off high-priced vets. Draft a QB to sit behind Tua and focus on the O-line. Yeah, that's not going to happen, my brother. Not going to happen. There's no way. And you can't trade the high-priced vets because you just paid them, and it accelerates the salary cap and accelerates all those bonus into the salary cap, and it'll force you to cut other players that you don't want to cut. So, no, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you, the way I think it's going to be is just a tweak here or there. That's it. Tweak on a coaching staff and a tweak in a player or two, and that's about it. I don't think there's going to be major changes, as much as you guys want major changes, as much as I don't want to see McDaniel come back. I almost feel like they're all stuck with each other, and because of the cap mess, they will have one more season before they can start to really blow it up, and then they can move on and start to really kind of piece apart the cap issues. But they have another year of really, I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. There's no reason to accelerate the cap mess at this point in time because it'll ruin it for your future even worse. So you can't do that, unfortunately. I just don't think it's going to happen. Let's see what else. Gets all his inside scoops from the front office. That's what. Yes, exactly. I get all my scoops from the front office. Everyone tells me. They all talk to me. Let's put our money together and buy Ross out. You guys can put your money together and you can't buy the escalator in the stadium that broke. Okay? I'm signing a vet QB over drafting a project next year. Every pick should go to the defense because if we literally play a crumb of defense in the second half the last 2 weeks, we're 500 right now. Leo, you when you make sense, you make sense, sir. You know? And some smoke it, you make it. They do not have a pass rush. Well, yeah, they lost we kind of expected that to be a real problem this year. They lost both their pass rushers, and then they drafted 2 young ones. That's a recipe for a disaster. We kind of knew that was going to be a challenge for this team, So that's not something that's really surprising, and it shouldn't be surprising to you guys. Season may be over, but Big O's show keeps rolling. You damn right. Still got Inter Miami going for a championship. We got the Panthers starting their run for a back-to-back championship. The Miami Heat are looking for another play-in spot in the playoffs. Still, we got a lot of other things to talk. And the Canes. The Canes are undefeated. So they got a good chance of getting to that ACC championship game. And if they can beat Clemson, that would be fun. Lee Michael Morrison wants to fire Greer immediately. Albert, thank you. Says, you are welcome. I have enjoyed your show for years. Thank you, sir. Thank you, bro. That's very nice of you. Why did Nick Needham? Oh, no, Nick is still injured, isn't he? Yeah, I think he's banged up or something like that. Yeah, damn the salary cap. Yeah, that's a problem right now for us. Yes, sir. Looking forward to watching the Van Ginkel tonight, a real defensive baller. They might have been able to use him today, right? They might be able to use a Van Ginkel today, huh? God. It hurts to lose Van Ginkel, right? I love Van Ginkel. God. They were just worried with him, man. That one did not work out, ladies and gentlemen. That was not a good one. That was a really bad decision, unfortunately. Abel Rodriguez, thank you for the love on Cash App. He did it again. Tua dove headfirst for a first down. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, he did. That crazy bastard. It's amazing how he is as fearless as it gets. And Steve M loves that he is fearless, by the way. He's a big fan of the fearlessness. Let's see. Dolphins are 4-10 in their last 14 games. They're a few unlucky breaks and bad officiating away. What they are is deeply financially levered towards the current cap configuration and build, and it's clearly not going well. Right now, they have to be in damage control mode. Yes, exactly. That's Chris Kaufman. Somebody sent me that on Twitter, and Chris has it right. It's just what I told you. They're so stuck to these salaries that they have really almost no options. And they're not going to have great options to bring people in. That's why I said bring Vrabel in and let him assess the talent, assess the team, and then tweak it for next season because he will adjust better than Mike McDaniel. So, but what can I tell you, dude? Fangio was right on Cam Smith. I'm not ready to give up on Cam Smith, dude. I mean, Cam Smith is a youngin'. He's barely played. That's you're the same guy that quit on Pat Surtain after his first year also. You probably weren't around, but yeah, I'm not doing that. He hasn't played enough to make any kind of an assessment on the kid. He might be a complete bust. Maybe. But it's still too early, dude. I can't do that to the kid. Plus, he's had a bunch of injuries, and you got to give him some time to get back, stay healthy, and figure things out and play in the league a little bit. I'm not ready to give up on young players so quickly like that when they haven't played enough. Has he played well? No, not at all, dude. So far, his best play is in a preseason game. Okay? Yeah, no, he hasn't played well. He hasn't been a good pickup so far, but it's still way too early. He hasn't played enough football to put him in that position. He's playing on a defense that has no pass rush and all that. It just, yeah, that's not fair, Toxic. That's not fair, dude. Big O, this is for all the morons that want to tank for Ward or whoever. Tua puts numbers up to win games. The defense are the ones losing these games. By the way, a couple of years ago, I pointed out that it was the defense also. So it just sometimes, the offense at times was the one that was at fault, not defense. The offense was at times at fault when Josh Boyer was running the defense. And people were picking on Josh Boyer, yet they did enough at times, and then the offense wouldn't score. And then now we have the opposite. The offense can play, but the defense can't stop anybody. This is the story of our lives as Dolphins. We get the greatest passer in the game, and we can't build a defense. Then we see them get Taylor and Zach and Sam and Pat and all that, and they can't build an offense. Now you've got some offensive players, and you can't build the defense. It's how it is. Frankie Fresco is in the chat board. He says, you still think this talent is good enough? Yeah, it is. It is. They should have 3 more wins easily. The coach isn't good enough. Did you see all the penalties today? Thanks to the coach. He keeps Tanner Connor around. For what? For a stupid penalty? Just like he keeps the other guy around? Even though I like Julian Hill's ability, I'd still keep him on the bench for all the stupidity. So, yeah, the undisciplined play is the reason why you lost, and that's part of McDaniel. So, yeah, a bad coach. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Everyone is going to take the fall here. Who's ready? All right, let's rock. Chris Perkins is ready to go with our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report.
Time to go to the locker room, Miami Dolphins fans. Let's find out what's percolating with the one and only Chris Perkins in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report.
Perk, it's so Dolphins. Mike McDaniel actually calls his best offensive game. Not that his team was best prepared, because they still made the stupid mistakes and the penalties and all that stuff. So that goes on McDaniel. But so Dolphins that you actually come up with a solid performance, and you ran the ball again for 4 straight weeks now. You have run the ball. You have taken care of the quarterback, whoever's been back there, and yet your defense can't stop a cold, bro.
Well, you know what, Big O? It was a lot of things today. Look, the Raheem Mostert fumble didn't help things because they take it down and score from it. But at the same time, you had that Jalen Ramsey interception, right? And they take it down and score from that. This was one of the most crushing, heartbreaking losses that I have covered in 16 years of covering the Dolphins. They did so many things right. Now, you can't have that Jordan Poyer helmet-to-helmet hit toward the end there. But, look, that's a tough play. Now, Poyer has got to aim lower, but that's a tough play. It's not a boneheaded play. I don't put that in the same category as a turnover. I mean, a guy who misses an extra point hits a 61-yard field goal to win the game. I mean, the Dolphins are just cursed here. I mean, they're just cursed. Now, they played a good game today. Did they play well enough to win? Obviously not. They played probably their best game of the season. The Bills are just the better team. I don't blame this on Mike McDaniel. This was just, they got beaten by a better team here. And
oh, yeah, there's no doubt they got beaten, but they had a chance to win. And if they don't make the mental errors and they can get a stop or two in the second half, dude, you win the game.
Well, but that's why Buffalo is the better team, because they can do that stuff and the Dolphins can't. Look, there's probably, 80% of the teams on the Dolphins schedule, if they play this well, they win. You don't win playing like this in Buffalo. That's the difference. Like, you can't have the Raheem Mostert fumble, and you can't have the Jordan Poyer penalty, right? So, this just wasn't your day, which is hard because it drops you down to 2-6, and you lose your 9th straight game at Highmark, and Josh Allen is your daddy once again. that's the way this season goes. That's the way it is. Dolphins versus Buffalo. By the way, Mike McDaniel, now a 500 coach, 22-22, including the 2 playoff losses. So there's that.
Yeah. They're I think 4-10 now in their last 14 games.
Yeah, I mean it's bad. It's really, really bad. And look, and today was probably a highlight game in that stretch, right? And you still lose. It's bad.
Oh no, it's terrible. And the fact is, you have enough talent to have more wins on the board, and
Yes,
you
do.
And that falls on McDaniel. And the sad part is, the last month of running the ball, bro, it took you 2.5 years to figure that out.
Yeah, but you know what, Big O? I mean, you're still 1-3 in that stretch. You know, like you rush for what, 193, 188, 155, and then what was it today, like 139 or whatever it is, and you're 1-3. You really, really need those big plays from Tyreek and from Jalen Waddle just to really spark you. It's really, really tough to win without that. And that's kind of where we see the poor construction of this team. But look, like you said, Mike McDaniel did have his best play calling game today. He did. And I said that on the video with David Furones that we do for SunSentinel.com, that Mike McDaniel called a really good game, but you just got beat by a better team in a location where you never win at the most inopportune time of the season. Now you're 2-6. And your playoff hopes are pretty much over. Pretty much.
Oh, please, dude. They were over last week. Please, come on.
Well, you know what, Big O?
I know the whole mathematical stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I know you guys want to write a little, hey, hang on, there's a little hope there, Dolphins. But come on, bro. This thing was coming off the rails in the Colts one already, pretty much. That's where your season pretty much went to crap. You know,
well, yeah. I mean, I would go before that, but yeah, it did. I don't look. I never thought that this team had what it took to win a playoff game this year. I thought that this was going to be the down year of the Mike McDaniel era. I thought last year was the year that you should have made your run. After day one of free agency, you knew this was going to be a rough year, right? You lose Wilkins, you lose Hunt, you lose Van Ginkel, and you're looking at that team going, they're not going to recover. But I didn't foresee 2-6 and this. Like this is just disaster. This is absolute disaster.
Yeah, no, and where do they go from here? You just ride out the rest of the season this way?
Yeah. I think so, because look, again, you have to decide what's going to be your path forward. If heads start to roll, to me, you got to start with Chris Greer, but again, you got to untangle some knots there, because is the new GM going to want Mike McDaniel? And if he does, then what about Tua and the quarterback situation? Do you go for a high draft pick, or do you go for the veteran backup? I say the veteran backup, but there are all kinds of things that if anybody loses their job, if McDaniel goes, what about Tua? What about the GM? There's a lot of things that you've got to make some tough decisions. Now, look, other organizations make these decisions every year. For some reason, the Dolphins seem to stumble when they make them, and they make a piecemeal decision where you get the new quarterback and the old coach and the old GM are still there or whatever. So they've got to take this time and see what happens the rest of the year. What do you want to do at GM? What do you want to do at coach? What do you want to do at backup quarterback? Do you want to trade in any of the big name people? And you have to go from there. Me, I'm pretty much I'm keeping the players intact. You've given them contract extensions and all that.
I don't think you can trade anybody, dude.
Nobody's going to help you out.
No, it's not that. It's that you're so financially strapped now to all these.
You're committed.
You just gave them the contracts. You cannot start trading these guys, because then it all accelerates and you'll be forced to cut other people.
Yes.
So for me, this is why I actually think the only change that really could be made would be the head coach, because then what you do is you run it with somebody different next year. And if it fails, everybody goes down. And then that into the third year of a lot of these deals, you can start to now release people, you can start to cut people, and you can start to really take the team down to rebuild it again. But you're basically stuck with this roster for at least another year until you can start to really pair off guys. And so if you are, then here's the thing. Here's my problem with all of this. And I haven't been able to find out. Who hired Mike McDaniel? Who hired him?
That's a good question.
Let me run something by you, okay? Chris Greer and his dad worked for Parcells, okay? This is what they're around. His brother's a hockey player, okay?
Right.
Then after they, Greer leaves, takes a job with the Dolphins, working for Jimmy Johnson, okay? His dad retires. Now, when Greer finally gets his chance, he goes for a Belichick disciple. So he's been around the disciplinarian type his entire life, okay? And his brother's a tough guy because he's a hockey player too. On top of all of that, then all of a sudden they go completely off script and go to McDaniel, and I just wonder if the people above had any influence in this, or anybody else had influence, because it doesn't go with the DNA of the guy that supposedly is at the top right now, because everything Greer's been about has been more about the disciplinarian type of dude. Even though he's a calm, cool, and collective guy, that's all he's been a part of. And then they went McDaniel. So I wonder, and they keep sticking with McDaniel. So I wonder, is there more to this hiring than you and I know?
Well, I don't think that Greer made the hire. I think Garfinkel and Steve Ross were probably more instrumental than Chris Greer. And I think that going against Flo, who was the disciplinarian and who Tua hated, I think that had a big part of it too. And then Mike McDaniel comes in and all he talks is Tua. I'm going to make this guy into a Hall of Famer. And they're like, brilliant. We want our quarterback to be a Hall of Famer. We spent a number 5 pick on him. That's the answer. And it's like, yeah, that really wasn't the answer. I think that this was a Greer, Garfinkel, Steve Ross, anti-Brian Flores, pro-Tua decision. And if you want to untangle all those knots and get rid of McDaniel and wonder who's going to be pro-Tua coming in, well, that's another deal. I'm not sure that Tua is going to be as effective in another system. You almost would need to get another Shanahan system guy to make it. Dude,
you just got to build, Doggy. You just got to build a line and run the ball, and Tua will be fine. It's the same shit for Breeze. It's the same shit for anybody else. Build a line, run the ball, throw to the damn tight end, and everything else will work out. You just got to have a defense, bro. You had no defense today. No defense today. None. You played offense to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, your offense has been okay the last 2 weeks, 27 points both times. You've been okay, but again, like your offensive line is fine. Dolphins fans have got to stop defaulting to the offensive line. Look at what you've done the last 4 weeks.
Offensive line is not a problem, and it has proven if you run. Look, dude, the offensive line was a problem because you made them a pass line. And that's all they were doing, pass blocking. And you and I know, we watched this kid enough. The left guard, pass blocking is not his forte, but if run blocking, he's a tough dude. If he could get his hands on you, that's probably better suited for him and better suited for all offensive linemen. They finally brought balance to it, and all of a sudden the line looks a hell of a lot better than it ever did because you're running the ball. But the last 2 weeks, if you don't stop anybody, Perk, you're not going to win shit in this league, dude. You're just not going to win.
You know what? You're right. But I think the bigger problem for this team is they need that big passing play to win. They do. Like, again, look at how you've piled up so many. You probably lead the NFL in rushing in the last 4 weeks, and yet you're 1-3. It's not because of the defense. Like, you've allowed 30 points this week and 28 last week. You've got to have that big play. They have locked up Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, and your team is in big trouble. You need that big pass play, the way that this team is constructed, to help you. Like the run game provides you balance. It's not going to win you games.
Falcons 27-21. Raiders scored 24. Bengals did score 41. Chargers 27-10. Titans 20-17. Commanders 27-22. Panthers 23-22. Ravens another outlier 41-10. Jets 21-13. Most of the league scores that you got to stop people, dude. The points that the Dolphins scored overall is what goes on in the league overall. Look, last week 28-18, 30-24, 18-15, 27-20, 28-14, 31-10, 26-8, 23-20, 30-27, 31-26, 25-22, 28-27, 52-14 outlier, 29-24, 37-17 outlier, 30-20. That was all last week, dude. What the Dolphins have scored the last 2 weeks, it's winning football on offense. It's losing football on defense. I don't know. That's
I don't think it's that simple. And here's the thing, Big O. I just don't like that McDaniel and Tua are such sacred cows. Like the last 2 weeks have not just been the defense. Like you can't lose fumbles. You can't. Okay. Like your defense bailed you out on a. Now look, Jalen Ramsey was beaten by Keon Coleman. Keon just happened to bobble the ball, and Jalen snatched it out of the air.
The defense bailed you out because they were about to get bitch slapped at the 1 yard line.
That's what I said. I mean, you got lucky.
And by the way, to drive from the 1 for a score, that's a badass offense.
Yep. But here's the thing, Big O. You are an offensive team. You win with offense. Like Jalen Ramsey got a contract extension, but more importantly, Mike McDaniel and Tua and Tyreek and Waddle got the extensions. They need to win games.
Kansas City won the championship because of offense? I'm sorry.
No, they won with defense. They won with defense last year. Clearly. Clearly.
Perk, you refuse to give up that you have to stop people, bro. You got to stop people. The Dolphin defense laid down like a hoe on a Diddy party the entire second half, bro. Okay? In fact, I have video from a Diddy party of the entire Dolphins defense laying down, bro. You got to stop people, Perk. You got to stop people.
You do. Look, Big O, again, like 80% of the teams on their schedule, they'd have stopped today, right? You were playing Buffalo. You were in Buffalo. Josh Allen is your daddy. That's the way it goes today. But most of the teams on your schedule, you'd have won today. You'd have won. That's the bottom line. You were playing in Buffalo today. Most games you'd have won, even with that defensive effort. You'd have won.
No. You can't win with a defensive effort that you allow the offense to score in every possession, Perk. They allowed the offense to score on every possession. There's nothing looser than women at a Diddy party. Come on, bro.
Big O, at some point you've got to outscore somebody this season, and not just Jacksonville 30-27. I hear you. The defense did not give a good effort today, especially late. But see, to me, you're an offensive team, right? You were number 1 in offense last year, number 6 the year before. You gave out all these contract extensions to the offensive people, and you're sitting back going, well, we scored 27. We should have won. No, when have you stopped at 27? When has 27 been good enough? Like, you handed out all these contract extensions and you're going to say, well, 27, we should win. No, you just 35, score 42.
You just went through a couple of weeks where you couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a Diddy house. Now that you actually have an offense that can score anywhere, you're now asking for more points. Can't we ask for less points from the defense, bro? I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, Big O.
You needed an answer, and they went and answered and tied the game, dude. I mean, it's like
I understand, Big O, but if in the previous 2 seasons, when you needed more, You got more from your offense, not your defense. You didn't build a defensive team. You built an offensive team. You didn't build an even team like San Francisco and Philly and Kansas City. You built this offensive juggernaut, and it can't score. It can't score enough points to get you to the playoffs or to win in the playoffs. Get you to the playoffs this year, win in the playoffs ever. Like, I think your bigger problem, I've said this from the start, the Dolphins' biggest problem is their offense. It's not their defense. It's their offense. I'm sorry. It is. Like, you win games with Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel, Raheem Mostert, all those guys. That's the way this team is built. That's the way the contracts are paid. That's the way the extensions were done. Yes, the defense needs to be better, but ultimately you win games with this offense. And when you don't win games, that's where I look first.
I got something for you, sir.
Yeah. What you got?
Okay. You know that today was the second highest point scored against the Bills defense today? It was Arizona week 1, 34-28. After that, it's 31-10, 47-10, 35-10, 23-20, 23-20, 34-10, 31-10. They averaged 10 points against this defense. Okay? And then Miami lost 30-27. Perk, you're unrealistic, my brother. Now you want them to do the things that nobody does against their defense. Nobody scores 27 points. The last time somebody scored 27 points against the Bills was in week 1, and they scored one more point. Everybody else pretty much scores 10 points, and a couple guys scored 20. Again, the offense did more than enough against that defense to win today.
Yeah, see, I look, they had their best game of the season, but it wasn't good enough. Like, again, when I want this Dolphins team to do something special, I turn to the offense. I don't turn to the defense. The defensive line has nobody on it. You don't have a pass rush. Your linebackers, they're okay. They're okay. I mean, this is an offense that I thought was going to light up the scoreboard, right? Like, this offense is supposed to be special. It's not special. It's not special.
Nobody lights up Buffalo.
Well, if you want to win the division, you've got to be special. You've got to be special to beat this team. You've got to be. If your offense isn't going to be special, dude, if you come into this game, into Buffalo, thinking our defense is going to win, you're not going to win. You're not stopping Josh Allen. You're not. It's unrealistic. Like, your offense is special.
But it's not like a lot of offenses are constantly scoring 30-plus points every week.
But you aren't a lot of offenses. You're the Dolphins. You paid Tua. You paid Jalen Waddle. You paid Ty. You're supposed to be special. You're supposed to be different. Like, you can't settle for, well, they were good enough. It's the defense. No, you're supposed to be special. This is how you win games. This is how you were going to win a Super Bowl with this offense. It's not good enough. It's not.
The Great Fear sends in a super chat. He says Perk would have blamed 80s Marino for losses.
No. 80s Marino had a poorly constructed team, a more poorly constructed team. Look, yes. I'm just saying
they really had no defense.
McDaniel and Tua are not the sacred cows to me. Like, they've got to be more special. They've got to be more special. They do. They've got to be better. They've got to be better than Anthony Weaver and Jalen Ramsey. McDaniel and Tua have to be better.
All right. What do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, sir?
Boy, I tell you, this was a crushing loss in a quiet locker room, subdued locker room. I haven't seen these guys like this maybe ever. I mean, I've covered some tough Dolphins losses over a 16-year period on this beat. This was one of the worst. Boy, I mean, Big O, the guy makes a 61-yard field goal, at the buzzer.
It would have been good from 71, bro.
Right. And as you say, the Dolphins did play a good game. The defense gave out. The offense played a good game, but I think they really, really expected to win. I think they thought that they were playing good enough to win. So that's what I'm going to write about tomorrow. Just kind of a crushing loss in a very subdued Dolphins locker room. I really actually feel bad for these guys.
See, did you hear him at the end? The offense played well. I did.
I did.
You see,
But they got to be better. They got to be better, Big. But they just got to be better, Big O. That's they got to be better.
You better resurrect that jersey I have in front of me that says Marino on it or something, bro. I mean, Jesus Christ. Now we better resurrect, like, you know.
Hey, Zonka. Yeah, we can
and all that. Yeah.
We got to resurrect them all, I think.
I
think that's where we're at, Big O.
Follow him on Twitter at Chris Perkins. Catch his exceptional work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Perk, as always, you're a stud. We will catch up next week, my friend. Thank you.
All right, Big O. Thanks, man.
You got it. There you go. Chris Perkins. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe that he can't agree with me on that. The defense let us down today, bro. They did not show up today. Now, Eric from EJD Construction, he will show up every single time. Dade and Broward, 305-433-4843. Proud sponsor of that segment right there. Thanks to Chris Perkins. Thanks to Eric. Always getting it done with the folks at EJD Construction. We've been on this platform for almost 5 years now. They've been with us since day one, fully insured, liability and workers' comp. You can trust them. People I know you can trust. Call Eric, 305-433-4843. They do it all. Shell construction in-house. That's how they keep the prices down. And as creative as you can get, that's what they can make come to life. Call them, 305-433-4843 for ejdconstruction.com.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report with the Sun Sentinel's Chris Perkins. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
All right. We are waiting for David Furones. And I've got an interesting question I want to ask Mr. Furones. So we'll get to that when he joins us. I want to see what he's got to say. Let's see. What else? Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can also send in a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and you can also make a donation through PayPal. For those of you that live out of the country or in the country, doesn't matter. You can also make a donation through PayPal. Use the QR code and check it out. There you go. Thank you. Bob Lapsey, defenses have figured out how to keep Hill and Waddle under 100 yards and no TDs. Defense stopped them. What they have is safeties over the top. So they're playing cover 2 is what they're doing. That's all they're doing. And so you don't throw deep into cover 2. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to work the underneath stuff. That's exactly what they're doing. But, that's where I disagree with Perk on this. You want them to do what nobody really does against the Bills. Their defense is actually pretty good. You don't light them up. Today was the second highest scoring offensive output against the Bills the entire season. And it was week 1 and now week 8 or week 9. This is week 9 now? Yeah, it's week 9 because we had the bye week. So it's week 9. So 2 times in 9 weeks, they've allowed over 27 points. And all the other, how many times did I read 10? And it's not fair. Not fair. I think today the offense played to win. That's the way I see it. I'm numb. So many losses over the years. I'm not losing sleep or spending money on this team. I don't blame you, dude. Let's see. What else do you have? I still feel like the one big thing that really cost us this game was Mostert's fumble. We were on our way to score. But couldn't the Bills say the same thing when they lost the interception, when it came off Coleman? And then Ramsey got it? It's the same thing, dude. It goes both ways. You still have to dude, you cannot allow an offense to score in every possession in the second half. You cannot do that. You'll never win against any team in the league if that's what you're going to do every second half. You literally allowed them to score in every possession. That cannot happen, dude. That's unacceptable. That puts your offense in an impossible position. That's where I disagree with Perk on this. I got to start accepting Zelle now? Bro, doesn't everybody have PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo? Zelle too? Wow. No, but I can use the business number for that too. I can do that if I want. I can also tie it to an email. I can tie the Zelle to an email and all that. That's not a big deal, but wow, I got to do Zelle? Okay. All right. I guess I'm going to have to do Zelle. Maybe I just thought everybody would have at least one of those three. You just added PayPal. Damn. Ozzie Fisher, did Perk do edibles before coming on? Tony Marmorino, I like Perk, but he sounds well, listen, we disagree. That's all. Let's ask Furones if he agrees. Let's get to it, baby. Our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins postgame report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welt and Realm has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right, there he is. All right, you doing good? You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Are the Dolphins on the season is the question, but
no, that was already over a couple weeks.
Yeah, you had it done before this.
Yeah, I was already done. That's all good. Now we have a disagreement with Perk here. We want to see where you stand.
Okay. I only heard from him that there was a disagreement, but I don't know what it is yet. So,
okay, exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
So here we go. Are you ready? He
ready.
says that the Dolphins offense had to play better to win today. I say, no, the Dolphins offense did more than enough to win. It was the defense that failed them today. The defense, by the way, allowed the Bills to score in every possession in the second half. You do that, you lose. And you want to know what the opponents have done against the Bills this year? First week, 28. Then 10, 10, 10, 20. 20, 10, 10, and now 27. Today, the Dolphins scored the second highest most points against the Bills defense because the Bills defense apparently has allowed 10 points 5 times this season. 5 teams can only muster 10 points. So to me, the defense is the one that gave this game away. I think the offense wasn't perfect. I get it, but they did more than enough to win. Whereas the defense, to me, I have to lay the blame on them. When I look at the opponent, you're on the road and you didn't make one stop in the second half. Ball's in your court.
Yeah, and even from just the sheer perspective of what the score was, 30-27, then you lean in the direction that the defense didn't get it done in the second half. And that was a fantastic first half that the Dolphins defense played too. So kept them out of the end zone for that whole first half. They were close one time. Jalen Ramsey was able to get his hands on an interception that ricocheted off Keon Coleman. But so they were driving then, but yeah, I mean, touchdown, and then you give up the late field goal. A penalty lets them get into long field goal range. So, yeah, defense in the second half, the Bills made adjustments. I mean, also, and the offense, it wasn't perfect, like you said, but for Tua to only have 3 incomplete passes all game, and Mike McDaniel called it one of his better games.
No, the best. That was
since he's had him.
Game he's ever the most balanced game he's ever had. The best game he's ever called. I will give him a ton of credit overall. They still made the penalties and the other mistakes, and the defense was shitty and all that. So it lies on him. But the offensive play calling, dude, it was phenomenal, man. It was really, really good. I like that. I enjoyed it. I really did. I gotta say.
Yeah. So that was definitely, and I know it's tough to take positives out of another loss when a team is 2-6 and there's no moral victories and all that, but you did see the signs of a team that can go and you go into Buffalo, play one of the better teams in the league, and you're right there in it with Tua playing the way he did in the second game where he's back. So you saw some of those signs. It's just at the end of the day, they hit a 61-yard field goal to win it, and now you're 2-6 instead of 3-5, which neither one of those are very good at this point of the year when you want to make the playoffs, but your backs are against the wall. But that part of it is what it is.
Yeah, and by the way, tell Perk that they scored 10 points the last time, now 27. So come on, give them a break. Anyway, here's the thing that we got to ask now. Why would that locker room believe in Mike McDaniel when you're 2-6? You're 4-10 in your last 14 games. You're now a 500 coach. You're not really – everything is trending in the negative pretty much overall. I do and love that he ran the ball, and he's run the ball for 4 straight weeks, and I get it. And this is the kind of game he should have been calling for the last couple of years, to be quite honest. But still, you know what I mean? Right now, why – what's the use in staying with Mike McDaniel, dude, when nothing ends up working with this guy?
Well, the sense I'm getting is actually the opposite, that they're more positive coming off as shocking as it may be to a lot of fans, is that they are more positive after the performance that they put together and nearly pulling one off at Buffalo. So, and you mentioned it in your response to Tua's game. It was Mike's play calling was also on point in this game. So you saw some of the signs, and I feel like what's going to end up happening is that they do get the ball rolling to win some games, and still obviously having maybe another loss or two that looks like this, where they compete against a tough opponent, and then it's just not going to be enough to make the playoffs. But then you're just going to see enough positive signs down the stretch that you say, well, if we didn't have those 4 games where we were without Tua to start the year, the things would look so much differently. So I just feel like that's what's coming this second half now.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, listen, if they score like what they're scoring right now, go look at the league. Go look at the scores. There's not a lot of scores that go to 27, 30 points. They're mostly under that or right around there. You know, I read that also to Perk the last 2 weeks. Scores are pretty much right around there or just under that. So they did enough, but you've got to play a much cleaner game, dude. You've got to be better on defense. You got to be, consistent now on offense. Which, again, you want to spin a positive, you have run the ball very well for 4 straight weeks. That, to me, is an enormous positive. And all of a sudden, the offensive line, you're not complaining about that offensive line that much anymore.
No, not at all. And 149 as a team rushing in this one. Achan was over 100 with rushing and receiving together. So great game from him. I mean, Mostert produced yardage wise, but obviously a key lost fumble, which was huge for the second time in the last 3 games for this team. So that's crushing there. Jalen Wright, they started getting him involved some, but obviously a little bit less than the others. So he actually was lower than he has been, 3 yards per carry. But you're right, you're not concerned about the offensive line the way you have been in weeks past. You see this offense turning a corner now that you have Tua in there and getting back. I mean, he's back in a rhythm now. You saw that in this game. So second game back, he's truly back in a rhythm. He did mishandle 1 snap early in the game, but seemed like that wasn't a recurring issue from then on. After the whole bag of chips comment and everything, which I know fans didn't love to hear, but aside from that, very smooth game from him and the offensive line and the run game going, which I just missed another 150-yard game on the ground.
Saron Neal and Jordan Poyer, those guys are still playing for the Bills, bro.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like, what the fuck, dude? They were the 12th and 13th man on the field for the Bills. I mean, Saron Neal's celebrating a tackle of a player that made a first down. He loses Mac Hollins in the end zone for the touchdown, and then he has the stupid penalty. Hoyer also has the stupid ass penalty. These freaking guys are still playing for the Bills.
Yeah, and Poyer's penalty. I mean, you're not looking at it like I know you say it like tongue in cheek. What you're saying, or maybe you don't. But
no, I am saying it tongue in cheek, but I am pissed at how useless Poyer has been the entire season. And Saran Neal, my lord, there's a reason why he's a special teams player.
Yeah. Well, so
and who the hell celebrates a tackle of a player that made a first down, bro?
Yeah.
Like I saw that and I was like, bro, shut the hell up. That's like watching some guy, oh, I made a first down. Bro, the scoreboard says 33-10. Who gives a shit about your first down? Your team has 10 points. Get your ass back in the huddle. Same thing with Saran Neal. I'm watching him like flex out or something on some stupid tackle. And it's like, bro, the guy made a first down on your ass. Get your ass back in the huddle.
Yeah, well, start with the Poyer penalty. Then, obviously, it's tough as a defender. You try to make an aggressive play, and sometimes it's football. It's happening quickly in front of you. I feel for these safeties sometimes, and yes, there was helmet to helmet contact. So, end of the day, the refs are going to throw the flag on that. And Poyer post game, he felt like he thought it was clean. Yeah, which with the helmets colliding, then I feel like it's a tough argument, but I understand where he's coming from, just because. That's basically all you could do in such a rapidly developing play where you have to go and break that up, where they're in easier field goal range if they complete that pass. So you're going over there to break up the pass, and then it ends up happening where play that's occurring that quickly, helmets can collide. It's football. And then Saran Neal, he ends up in the game. Second half, he's rotating in with Cam Smith because first, obviously, you're playing without Kader Kohu and Storm Duck. So then Cam Smith is the one that's up as the third corner behind Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller. And then Cam Smith has a couple of penalties in the first half. He's struggling out there. So then Saran Neal ends up going in on some packages, and Smith is coming off the field. And you never want to be in a position where Saran Neal has to defend, play defense. He's a special teams ace, and cornerback is just his position, which he's sort of like one of the last resorts in that regard. So then once you get into a position where without Kohu, without Duck, and then Cam Smith is messing up out there, then you get into a position where he's on the field, then sometimes that's what's going to happen.
Tanner Connor, bro. Que pinta ese tipo, bro? I'm seriously like, what is he doing on this? And, and the amazing part is he just filled in for the other screw up, Julian Hill, who's injured and out, which was a blessing because he probably would have helped out in screwing up this game. And then Tanner Connor, I'm still trying to figure out. Like Julian Hill, I know I see the talent. That I've been watching football long enough to know that kid's gifted, but I'd still put his ass on the bench. But Tanner Connor hasn't shown me anything whatsoever since he's been here for 3 years, and I'm still trying to figure out what this tight ends coach brings to the table, because it kind of reminds me of Mike McDaniel, that Tua really was carrying him, and Jonnu Smith is carrying the tight ends coach also at the same time. But what is Tanner Connor and Julian Hill doing on this team, to be quite honest?
Yeah. Well, Julian Hill, they love his blocking, how aggressive he is. Then I know I say blocking, and sometimes you see just how he'll miss badly in that aspect of the game. But they like
the other tight end did today, miss badly on a block also. Early in the game, Smythe got smoked on one too earlier in the game.
It's been a rough go for that unit. Smythe missing that one. Tanner Connor was actually in the game, and actually in some leverage situations at times. They went to the package that includes him, and but obviously not really an impact on the game in any way. And obviously he was only up because Julian Hill was out. So, Jonnu Smith, we did see get involved some. So 5 catches, 46 yards for him.
Oh, yeah, terrific.
Yeah, right. He continues his play for that unit. But aside from that, I mean, Smythe also is just disappeared on this team.
Yeah, no, it's not like Gesicki's any useful. 5 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
he scored 2. Okay, yeah, I haven't. I saw like a notification that he had scored in the Bengals
5
game.
for 100.
5 for 1. Wow.
5 for 102 touchdowns. He's not just having a good game once in a while. No, he's having a good season now. It's turned into now for the Cincinnati Bengals because they know how to use him. This guy doesn't. Like he didn't even know how to use Jonnu early on, and then finally figured it out. He finally figured out how to use the running game and Jonnu Smith the last couple of weeks, which has been beautiful, by the way. But man, it took him a long time, to do that. So, all right, trading deadline. Look, dude, big picture. I'm not expecting them to do anything. Even in the offseason, I think they'll do like a little tweak here or there in the coaching staff, maybe fire the special teams coach or something, and maybe a tweak in the roster. So I think they'll bring back McDaniel and Greer. Everybody will come back or whatever. That's what I think because they're so spent on their cap with all the people they have already. They're really not going anywhere. But you tell me, maybe you think something different. Maybe you think there'll be big sellers. Maybe you think there'll be big changes. I know a lot of people want to see big changes. So what do you think? What's your gut telling you?
I don't see big changes. I see minor tweaks. I could see a situation where you go to some of these veterans on this team and ask, would you like to go to a team that is in a position to go compete in the playoffs? Because I think you do have to look at it realistically that you're 2-6 now and you need a miraculous second half to make the playoffs. So if you're looking at a Calais Campbell, like give him an option if he wants to go to somewhere and he's playing great football and he's wasting away this year, I'd put it in his hands. Like, if you want to go to Teron Armstead, same thing.
He's earned that.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes.
Lance has earned that. And out of respect out of the organization, it'll suck to lose him because, like you said, but he's earned that. You should do that for him, man. If he wants to go, let him go, man.
Yeah, and I think there should be no hard feelings on this side because he came here to compete for a Super Bowl, and it's not going that way. It's highly improbable. I know sometimes you get caught up in the season, and maybe a lot of guys are right. It's just
say it's over.
It's over instead of improbable. I'm not saying over until they're eliminated.
You were a dealer last week, still with the hopium, and I'm like, come on, bro, no hopium now. Let's go. It's over. That's it. Let's move on now. Let's talk about.
You're not taking the hopium after seeing the offense put up 27 at Buffalo.
I wasn't taking the hopium if they won here today. I said it in the pregame. I said it's not. It's not just about winning now. You have to then follow it up with several wins because if you lose the next 2 out of 3 after you win here, doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to get too high about the win. I was going to be happy that they won, but oh my God, the season's turned around. No, I was never going to think that. That's crazy.
So they got 9 games left, and running the table gets you to the same record as you had last year. That got you the number 6 seed, and you wouldn't win the division with 11-6 either. The Bills obviously now have the tiebreaker. So, and they're not going to collapse to that point where they have a 4.5 game lead with the tiebreaker. So the best you can do is and that's winning out 9 games. It's just statistically almost impossible, but I'm not going to say over.
Oh, he dropped?
I lost you for a second there.
All right, what are you
got you
working on? I'm sorry, what are you working on the Sentinel so the listeners can check you out, my friend?
Sure. Covering the late Jordan Poyer penalty that proved costly in this game. Just wrapping up game coverage here, and then I'll be turning the page tomorrow, and then covering the trade deadline, of course, on Tuesday.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch him doing his thing twice a week here with the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report. And this week, actually, it'll be Tuesday and Friday since we have a Monday night game. So
okay,
good stuff. Good
I'm
stuff.
with it.
And then the following week, there we go. It'll be a Monday and a Friday, a late Monday night. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. We'll be in LA. I'm looking forward to leaving to LA on Thursday morning, baby. Can't wait.
Okay, wow. Yeah, they're spending quite a while in LA.
I'm going to 4 concerts, bro. Who do you think? I'm screwing around here? I'm going to 4 concerts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then the game on Monday. and 2 broadcasts Saturday and Sunday with Dolphins at different bars, because we'll be at John Phillips' place, the Smudge Pot, over on Saturday, and then we'll be at Sharky's on Sunday. So that'll be cool. We'll
okay. Much shorter trip for me. I'm in Sunday, leave Tuesday.
Yeah.
But third straight year the Dolphins go to LA. The Chargers last 2 years, and now back to SoFi for the Rams.
You got it. Randy's Donuts and In-N-Out Burger, baby. There you go.
Oh yeah. With Randy's Donuts, you can go right out of the airport.
That's right. That's right. And Roscoe's Chicken is right down the street from it too. So,
I have to try there. I have not been there.
You have not had the chicken and waffles at Roscoe's?
No. So this time.
That's an institution. You know that, right? Roscoe's?
Yes, I've heard of it. In a lot of references made to it. So
yeah, dude. No, you gotta have. Every time I go to LA, I have to have chicken and waffles at Roscoe's.
Okay,
it's so good, bro. That chicken.
High priority this time.
Oh, it's tender, and then the skin is like thin and crispy, and it just it's so good, man. So good. You got to check it out. You ever had Roscoe's there, Sean? Oh boy, he's gonna have Roscoe's. He's gonna love it. All right, buddy. I will catch you next week, my friend. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. There you go. David Furones, Welton Rayom, Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom. Jeff was down, man. He was hoping that they would pull the victory off today. 954-966-4646. He's a big Dolphins fan, big Canes fan, so he's happy with the Canes being 9-0. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. There are so many ways and so many things that they do. Please call the great people at Welton Rayom. Jeff Welt, Daniel Rayom, they are the ultimate tackles. They will protect you. They will make sure, and they did it for us, man. They went after Progressive and crushed them. And they can do it, and they've done it for a lot of our listeners in the state of Florida. And if you've been dealing with effects from Milton or Helene, please call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. They have their own adjusters. So don't worry about calling the insurance company and their adjusters, because they work for them. You call Welton Rayom, and then they'll attack the insurance company. You'll never have to deal with it. It's a beautiful thing. No headaches for you. The only thing is you go pick up a check at the Welton Rayom offices. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Leon Fresco, thinking about this more. Need to trade Mostert and cut Poyer as our Kervin Richards JJ. Kervin Richards fell asleep in a meeting with the Dallas Cowboys I believe it was the first year that Jimmy Johnson was there. Kervin Richards was a running back out of Pittsburgh, I want to say. And he fell asleep in a meeting, and Jimmy cut him right on the spot to send a message. But Leon, I get that Mostert fumbled. You don't cut the guy that scored 21 touchdowns last year just because he made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? It sucks, but Mostert is a quality human being, a quality player, has played well. You want to cut Julian Hill after all the mistakes, even with his talent? You go ahead. You want to cut Tanner Connor? You go ahead. You want to cut Jordan Poyer? You go ahead. I'm going to cut the habitual. I'm not going to cut the guy that's, come on, man. He's been terrific for this team. I'm a big Mostert guy, so, anyway. Joseph is correct. Dolphins look great. Yeah, they were fantastic today. Now they'll win 9 straight and then go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. All right. First of all, Billy and Kelly, we got to thank them for taking care of us out here at the River Pub. Had a great time out here, man. Unfortunately, no wins. We thank all the Dolphin fans that came out today. As always, thank you. You guys are absolutely amazing. Looking forward to hanging out with Dolphin fans next Saturday and Sunday in Los Angeles. I thank Sean Stanley, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that masters this entire platform every single day. We thank, of course, Chris Perkins and David Furones. And thank all of you out there. If you send in a super chat, if you send in any kind of donation, thank you. If you send in a Venmo or Cash App or even PayPal, you can do all of that anytime and help out the show and help out the platform grow. We appreciate all of you and your support. We will see you tomorrow morning, live from the River Pub, baby. We'll be here with Billy tomorrow morning, broadcasting live right here on the Big O Radio Show. Be good out there.
You've been listening to our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The broadcast is brought to you by Welton Rayome, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors, Toyota of Hollywood, Haineswear, Sloman's Home Security, BigCheeseMiami.com, EJD Construction. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Thank you for supporting the platform and our fantastic sponsors. Go Fins!